Miami drops to number 7 after first loss. UCF USF barely move after rivalry showdown. Clemson is the new number 1 in the Associated Press college football poll, taking a close vote with Oklahoma after the top 2 teams in the rankings lost in the same weekend for the first time since 2012. The Tigers jumped from 4th to number 1 after blowing out South Carolina on Saturday night. Clemson received 27 first-place votes, and number 2 Oklahoma had 24. Number 3 Wisconsin received 10 first-place votes. Auburn rose to number 4 after beating Alabama, which had been number 1 since the preseason. The Crimson Tide slipped to 5th. Georgia moved up a spot to number 6 and Miami fell 5 spots to number 7. The Hurricanes lost for the first time this season on Friday at Pittsburgh. The last time the top 2 teams in the AP poll lost on the same regular season weekend was November 17, 2012. Then, number 1 Oregon lost to number 14 Stanford and number 2 Kansas State went down to Baylor. Ohio State, Penn State and TCU round out the top 10. UCF moved up 1 spot to number 12 after coming out victorious in its thrilling rivalry game against USF, which dropped 1 spot to number 23. Poll points, defending national champion Clemson is number 1 for the first time since finishing atop the AP poll last season and 9th time overall. The Tigers were number 1 for 5 weeks in 2015, entering the college football playoff title game against Alabama that way before losing. Alabama's loss means there still will be only 2 teams in the history of the AP poll to go from preseason to final poll as number 1. Florida State was first to do it in 1999, and Southern California did it in 2004. Wisconsin has its best ranking since the Badgers were number 2 on October 21, 1963. Up, number 14 Stanford moved up 6 spots after beating Notre Dame. Down, Notre Dame dropped 6 spots to number 15. Number 21 Washington State fell 7 spots after being routed by Washington, which moved up 2 spots to number 13. Number 24 Mississippi State dropped 8 spots after losing to rival Mississippi on Thanksgiving night. In number 25 Fresno State was the only team to move into the rankings this week. The Bulldogs replaced Boise State after beating the Broncos on Saturday. Fresno State is ranked for the first time since spending most of the 2013 season in the top 25. Conference call SEC, 5 Big Ten, 5 Pac-12, 4 ACC, 3 American, 3 Big 12, 3 Mountain West, 1 Independent, 1 ranked versus ranked. Number 1 Clemson versus number 7 Miami, ACC championship in Charlotte, North Carolina. The winner likely goes to the college football playoff. Number 2 Oklahoma versus number 10 TCU. Big 12 championship in Arlington, Texas. The Sooners beat the Horned Frogs in Norman, and now have to do it again in the return of the Big 12 title game. Number 3 Wisconsin versus number 8 Ohio State, Big 10 championship in Indianapolis. The last time the Buckeyes and Badgers played in the conference title was 2014 and Ohio State won 59-0 to lock up a playoff spot. Number 4 Auburn versus number 6 Georgia, SEC championship in Atlanta. The Tigers handed the Bulldogs their only loss earlier this month in Auburn. Number 11 Southern California versus number 14 Stanford, Pac-12 championship in Santa Clara, California. USC beat the Cardinal in September. Number 12 UCF versus number 16 Memphis, American championship game in Orlando, Florida. The Knights try to stay unbeaten against the Tigers, whom they beat in September.